So breathwork in my workshop. So I'm going to talk about breathwork for specifically what I do in my workshops, right? So it's kind of funny because when people come to my workshops, they think it's going to be some light guided meditation, some slow breathing, we're going to journal, we're going to color some mandalas, right? And then they're going to be in for a shock, right? So the breathwork I focus on is where we get the person to hyperventilate, to superventilate, right? It's fast breathing, it's right? So it's, for those of you who are familiar with the Wim Hof style of breathwork, is very similar to that, but on steroids, right? It's like climbing up the mountain. We charge up your breath, we charge up your spirit, and we climb up the mountain to get to a point of release, yeah? And they're calling it breath work for a reason, yeah? So there is a lot of work involved because it's not easy, yeah? The breath rules do change from time to time. So sometimes we'll use the mouth, sometimes we'll use the nose, sometimes we'll have different patterns. So sometimes we'll breathe to the count of 3 and exhale to the count of 3. And we might just do that all the time. Sometimes we might change the pace up a little bit. So we might just breathe in and out, but we might go like this. And increase the pace to this. And then this, right? Or we might do something different where it's called sniff to sigh, sniff, sniff, sigh, or shamanic breathing, or DMT breathing, different names, same shit. But we breathe twice through our nose and then exhale, so we go. And we might change up the pace on that as well. So we might go. And we might do that for a long time. Right? And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It is work. It is hard work. Yeah. And I could not believe it myself, because the breath is something we take for granted, right? We come to this world, we breathe, the first thing we do. And when we die, the last thing we do, our final breath leaves us, right? And we take it for granted. But it's until my first breathwork workshop that I truly experienced the power, this magical power, where science is just catching up to it now, of the breath, right? And by breathing in a certain way, in a certain rhythm, certain pattern, with the right setting in place, with the right guidance, things magically happen. And next thing you know, you're having a release, an emotional release, where you could be crying, you could be shouting, anger might come out, you might be laughing, you might sometimes just find peace in the first time for a very, very long time and just be in total bliss, in ecstasy, yeah? And I've gone through all of that just through breathing, yeah? What the fuck? Like, who would have thought, yeah? That was going on through my first breathwork experience when I didn't know what it was all about. And there you go, my life's changed. Former real estate agent, real estate principal, selling properties, making money, winning awards, drinking, to now becoming a breathwork instructor. Who would have thought? Yeah, but that is the magical part of the breath. Yeah, so that's what happens in my workshop. And what I tell to people is, you have to be strong. And I talk about fear and what happens when your mind starts telling you stories. But I tell them, be strong for yourselves. Because if you can push through, you'll reach this magical place of release, yeah? Of this beautiful part where it's like reaching the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, where you might see some visuals, you might come across memories from the past, some sad ones, some joyful ones. You'll come across maybe a physical release in your body. You'll go through a range of emotions, but I can almost guarantee you'll feel so much better than when you first sat down. Yeah, it is a beautiful experience, and I would encourage everyone, right, to come and try it for yourself and to really experience what breathwork is. Yeah, you don't have to come to my workshop, but go find your nearest breathwork practitioner Don't go to once have just done an online course for 3 days, because that's effed, in my opinion. There are courses now where you can become a breathwork facilitator online for 3 days, and yeah, don't go to those ones. You know, find a good practitioner, coach, facilitator, instructor, whatever you want to call it, and experience it for yourself, because it could be a life-changing experience for you. That's it for now. Catch you guys soon. Cheers.